Hello and welcome to Big Orbit's Cardfight Vanguard weekly update. My name is James and today I'll be going through the cards shown throughout the past 7 days. There are a few more EBO3 and MBO1 cards shown this week, but also a lot of promos from lots of different clans again. For EBO3 we have the Grade 1 Lily of the Valley Musketeer Rebecca. Her first skill is Auto Rearguard Circle. When placed, one of your other Grade 1 or less units gets power plus 5,000 till the end of the turn. It seems like there's a big focus on powering up these little guys, kind of like how they were in G, where originally small units would get to very high powers. Her second ability is Auto Rearguard Circle. At the end of the turn, cost Soul Blast 1 and retire one of your plant tokens, and return this unit to your hand. And if you know you're going to get another plant token next turn, this ability is both good for offense and defense. It can either allow you to guard with another 10k shield in hand, or gives you another plus 5k on the field next turn. For perfect guards of each of the EBO3 clans, we have Maiden of Blossom Rain for Neo Nectar, Battle Cupid Nociel for Angel Feather, and Halo Shield Mark for Gold Paladin. With the mini booster cards, we finally have Exculpate the Blaster. He has a 14,000 power base, which is odd in comparison to Noval Vague, who is also a grade 4 for Force. And his first ability is Auto Vanguard Circle. When placed, cost counterblast 1, choose a card from your soul, and put all other cards from your soul to your drop zone. When this unit attacks during your turn, this unit battles all of your opponents in one attack. Then, to balance this ability, his second ability is Auto Vanguard Circle. At the end of the battle that it attacked, put 2 cards from your hand into your soul, retire this unit, and ride a Blaster Blade from your soul as stand. If you could not ride, you lose. The fact that you can lose through this skill isn't a big problem, as you just don't ride him if you don't have a Blaster Blade in soul or in your hand. You get a nice extra attack with Blaster Blade as well, and possibly having an extra crit depending on what your board state is. Just like Noval Vague, potentially wiping all your opponent's field is such a good ability, especially against Accel clans. I do like Exculpate the Blaster a lot more than Noval Vague though, because I find his skill a lot more interesting, and I can definitely see him being used in Royals more than Noval gets used in Kagura. Sage of Salvation Benon is a grade 2 for Royal Paladin, and has the ability Auto Rearguard Circle. When placed, costs reveal an Exculpate the Blaster from your hand, and return it to the deck. Search your deck for up to 1 Alfred Early, reveal it, and put it into your hand, and shuffle your deck. Now this is good for fixing your hand with the right grades, but at the same time Alfred Early and Exculpate the Blaster work against each other, as a Blaster Blade in the soul, but Alfred Early takes him out of the soul before Exculpate the Blaster can use its skill. I guess the idea is use Exculpate, and then when you rewrite to grade 3 you use Alfred's skill then. Either that or you just use Blaster Blade in hand for Exculpate's skill. Quickly go through the one Mega Colony card that got shown first, so as I've been waiting for it for a long time. The card is the Grade 1 Stealth Millipede. It only has 7,000 power, but its other skills are so good. The first skill is Continuous Rearguard Circle. If this unit is rest, all of your opponent's rearguards in the same column of this unit cannot stand. That includes stand abilities, so Nova Grappler are going to get hurt by this quite a lot. Then it also has Auto Rearguard Circle. When its attack or the attack of it boosted hits, put it into the soul and countercharge 1. Now this is mandatory, but whether you hit or miss, it's still a lose-lose situation for your opponent. It would be good to have this behind Bloody Hercules to increase the problems for your opponent, because if it hits, you countercharge 2 and give another unit plus 6,000 power. Then, as this is Mega Colony, you can bring it back from the soul. Also, it has now become a little better if you have to ride Machining Stag Beetle, as you can bring this from the soul at rest, paralyzing a column. Mega Colony only have the one promo, but it's so good that I'm happy anyway. Murakumo received 3 promos. The first one is a grade 2 Stealth Fiend Dasha Dokuro. It has 9,000 power, and its skill is Act Vanguard Circle Rearguard Circle. Once per turn, cost rest one of your rearguards, and this unit gets plus 5,000 power until the end of turn. It's strange that it's only once per turn, but 14,000 power is still a good number to get. As it's an act, you can replace the rested unit, which is good if you can pull off a superior call which you can call over the rested unit. Stealth Beast Leaf Raccoon is a 7k grade 1 with Auto Vanguard Circle Rearguard Circle. When placed, one of your units gets plus 3,000 power until the end of the turn. I'm not sure how important this 3k will be, but giving it to Gasha Dokuro as well as a boost can put the column to 25,000 power. The best promo for Murakumo is probably Cornered Stealth Rogue Benijishi. He's another grade 1 and has Auto Rearguard Circle. When your opponent's sentinel is placed on Guardian Circle during the battle that your Vanguard attacked, costs put a normal unit from your drop zone into the deck, put your deck for up to 1 card, same name as your Vanguard, call it to rearguard circle and shuffle your deck. This is fantastic ability as your Vanguard is the one card that's most likely to be perfect guarded. Plus, if you have multiple Benijishi on the field, you can get possibly 3 extra attacks for the turn, which is going to be really good with Accel circles. Samural Spirit for Grand Blue is a grade 1 with Axe Drop Zone, costs Soul Blast 1 and retire one of your rearguards, other than Samural Spirit. Call this card to rearguard circle and it gets plus 4000 power until the end of the turn. This works a lot better for modern Grand Blue than it did in its previous form back in the day, as getting that drop zone to a certain amount is really important for them now. And with the Soul Blast, that can help you quicken things. As you will be milling yourself, it's easy to be unlucky with the grades that go into the drop zone. This can help your boosting problems, allowing you to kill a grade 2 or grade 3 to get a booster. Dark Irregulars get Imprisoned Fallen Angel, Sarakiel. She's a grade 2 with the highest power of a grade 2 yet, which is 12,000 power, and her skill is Continuous Rearguard Circle, Vanguard Circle. When it cannot attack without Soul Blast 1. It works against the idea of the deck somewhat, to a much lesser extent this time, as 1 Soul Blast isn't that much at all. If anything, she's a great ride target thanks to that big base power, making it a lot easier to guard. Blue Dust is another grade 2 for the Irregulars. His skill is Auto Vanguard Circle, Rearguard Circle. When its attack hits, Soul Charge 1 for each grade of your opponent's Vanguard. So basically, if your opponent has a grade 3 Vanguard, you Soul Charge 3. A great thing about this is it works on Vanguard Circle, and as your grade 2 Vanguard is likely to hit, that means a free soul charge of 2 or 3. A good alternative if you don't have Seagret. Lastly, for Dark Regulars, we have Nightmare Baby. It has Auto Rearguard Circle. When it boosts, this unit gets plus 2000 power until the end of the turn for each 5 cards in your soul, so nothing too big and flashy, but good nonetheless. A good card late game if someone has managed to retire your Doreens. Spike Brothers have Concealed Angela, a grade 1 with Continuous Rearguard Circle. If 2 or more of your cards will play a card ability or put into the soul during your turn, this unit gets plus 10,000 power. At first, this seems like an odd condition, but with the amount of cards that are put into the soul and get superior called at the beginning of your main phase, this doesn't seem like too much of a problem for Spike Brothers, and should be a nice consistent power boost. Shadow Paladin receive a grade 2 Sharp Fang Witch Toddler. She has Auto Vanguard Circle, Rearguard Circle. When placed, cost Counterblast 1. Search your deck for up to 2 trigger units, call them to Rearguard Circle, and shuffle your deck. In Standard, this is a bit of an iffy ability, as it does give you a nice number to retire, but you really don't want to be thinning your deck of triggers. However, for Premium, this is really good for Witch support. The fact that she becomes a grade 2 now helps a lot, and Witches have a critical that can weaken the opponent and go back into the deck, meaning you still get a chance to drive check them. Darkside Pegasus is another grade 2 and has Continuous Rearguard Circle. If you have 3 or less rearguards, this unit gets plus 3000 power and boost. Boosting a normal grade 2 with this puts the column to 23,000 power, which is really handy and works really well with the Phantom Blaster Dragon playstyle. Fierce Sword Dragon is a grade 1 with 5,000 power and Act Rearguard Circle costs to retire this unit, and 2 of your units get plus 3000 power until the end of turn. You may want him in the deck and not even use his ability, just use him as fuel for Phantom Blaster Dragon. The reason for this is that he can be searched out through the main and through her really cheap Superior Cool skill. It would cause you to have a very weak grade 1 lineup, but if you're focused on Phantom Blaster Dragon, then this shouldn't be a problem, as Darkside Pegasus can make up for some lost boosting power. Battle Siren Parthene, grade 1 Aquaforce. She has Auto Rearguard Circle once per turn. When your unit's attack hits Vanguard, if it's the first or second battle of the turn, cost Counterblast 1, choose one of your opponent's rearguards and retire it. The fact that she doesn't have to have boosted the attack is really great, especially in a Maelstrom build where your opponent will want to take the early damage so that it can help in stopping Maelstrom from restanding. This is a really useful grade 1 to have, and you can even retire back row rearguards, making it very flexible. For Pale Moon, there is the grade 2 Dreaming King of Comedy. His skill is Auto Rearguard Circle once per turn. When your other rearguard is placed from the soul, this unit gets plus 5000 power until the end of the turn. You'll likely be placing a card from the soul every turn, so this is a really useful ability to have and becomes a really nice 14 to 24k beta. Lark Pigeon is a grade 1 and has Auto Soul. At the end of your opponent's turn, if your hand has 2 or less cards in it, you may return this card to your hand. This is a likely ability to activate, which is really nice as it's a 15k shield. This is a likely ability to activate as you pay costs by putting cards from your hand into the soul, which is really nice as it's a 15k shield. You probably don't want it as your starting Vanguard, as the early draw is very important for Exile clans, especially for Pale Moon. But having this in your main deck isn't such a bad idea, as you will be putting cards from your hand into soul, as I said, and if you put this into your soul, you're kind of not losing it because it does come back. Peekaboo is a grade 2 with auto. When put into the soul from rearguard circle, cost counter +1 and soul +1, choose one of your opponent's rearguards and put it into their soul. If you chose a grade 2 or greater, soul charge 1. This is almost like a retire for most clans. Sure, it does fuel their soul, but they tend to lose a lot more than they gain. Finally, for Pale Moon, we get Bunny, a midnight mo, with the congratulations hot stamp. Strangely, she doesn't have her original artwork, but she is full art now, to the extent that the borders have been removed, like the Elaine from the mini booster. Sword of Hope Richard is a grade 1 for Royal Paladin, and he has continuous rearguard circle. If you have 3 or more rearguards, all of your other rearguards in the same column as this unit get intercept. This works really well with Akane by superior calling Pongal in the same column as Richard, allowing a grade 1 to intercept. Or if you're desperate to fill the field, he can allow you to put intercept with trigger units too. Frontline Valkyrie Laurel is a grade 2 for Neonectar with continuous rearguard circle. This unit gets plus 2000 power for each of your other rearguards. She starts off with 1k less base power, but she can gain up to 8000 power in total, making her a pretty strong beater. Sunlight Garden's Guide is a grade 2 for Neonectar with auto Vanguard Circle, Rearguard Circle. When placed, call up to the same number of plant tokens as the number of plant tokens on your Rearguard Circle to open Rearguard Circle. The best value you can get out of this is if you have 2 plant tokens on the field already, making another 2 by calling her and giving you a full field for free. This is pretty amazing, all things considered, and if Neonectar have a theme at the grade 3s pumping the tokens, then this could create a pretty big field. Incise Angel for Angel Feather is a grade 1 with auto rearguard circle. When placed, cost put a card from your damage zone to the bottom of your deck, and put a card from the top of your deck into the damage zone, and turn a face-up card from your damage zone face down. The usefulness of this card really depends on if you can shuffle or search your deck for anything. We will have to wait for future support to know how good this is. Medical Gunner Pamiris is a grade 2 with continuous rearguard circle. If you have 5 or more cards in your damage zone, this unit cannot be retired through your opponent's abilities and gets plus 10,000 power and plus 5,000 shield. So provided you're in the right damage level, she becomes a stronger Promise Daughter. But if Angel Feather get a lot of healing, then that could work against this unit from getting her buff. You'll have to juggle your damage well if you want to make the most of it. The last clan to talk about is Gold Paladin. They have a grade 2, Ladybug Cavalry. His skill is also rearguard circle. When placed, this unit gets plus 3,000 power until the end of turn. If it was placed for a card's ability, cost counter +1 and it gets plus 10,000 power instead of plus 3,000 power. It's a pretty big boost of power, though you do have to be a little lucky with this, but that's the Gold Paladin way. Placing this on an Excel circle from the deck is a nice 29,000 power rearguard, which could be a game changer. Though so far we've only seen one superior caller for Gold Paladin, so we should have more news in the near future of how good this card will be. And finally we have Golden Beast Rampage Turtle. It's a grade 2 with continuous rearguard circle during the battle that it attacked. If you have more rearguards than your opponent, while your opponent calls Guardian from his or her hand to Guardian Circle, he or she must call 2 or more at the time. This is in form of this ability when it comes to Excel clans, and often puts a lot of pressure on your opponent, but not much that we haven't seen before. And that is everything from the past 7 days. Be sure to check out next week when I'll be going through the cards throughout the next 7 days, and if you have any questions about the card, feel free to leave that in the comment section below, and let me know your feelings on the new cards and which promos are your favourite. So I hope to see you next time. Bye!